Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kat's podcast. I am Kat. I'll be your host. This is part three of my testimony leading into the gang stalking and all of that, but I guess I'll start where I left off, which is when I met my second husband. My sister in law and I were both having issues in our marriage, so she and I both started going out a lot, and I had heard of crack but never knew nothing about it. The guy I met, along with 80% of the town of the people I used to know, was smoking crack. I paid for most of it, even though I didn't know what the big fuss of it was yet. But I was going deeper and deeper into a huge downward spiral. I did not know how to get free. It wasn't long into knowing him that I was separating from my first husband, and he acted as though got I took the I got the house almost completely done and used him for that, and now I was divorcing him. So just to prove to him and everyone else that I was not, that wasn't the case. We sold the home to my brother and his wife, and he gave me a mobile home that he was living in that was next to my parents. I'm reading this, so let me turn the page. Well, this guy was going through the money that I had like water, along with everything else that I had accumulated over my life, and I was when I was with my first husband. 7 years together, though it took though it took me 3 years to be completely divorced. But now, not long into the relationship, he hit me. I always said two things: I would never let a man hit me, and I will never shoot up drugs with a needle. I carried a 357 Magnum back then. I used to deer hunt and everything. I was kind of like a tomgirl. I was pretty tough, or so I thought. Boy, was I ever misinformed. We or mistaken, my bad. When he hit me, I kept telling him to leave, and I went next door to my parents, called his brother, and said, "You have 5 minutes to come and pick your brother up, because if you don't, I'm calling the police or I am going to shoot him." Well, he came and he walked in, and I hollered and said, "You need to come on. Your brother is here to get you, and I'm done. There's no man that's going to be ever putting his hands on me ever again, and you better consider yourself lucky." Well, he come charging down the hallway, and I got shook. It startled me, it scared me. So I jumped behind his brother as to shield me so he would stop him, and you'll never guess what happened. He moved out of the way. From that day on, I cried myself to sleep every single night, and what was bad is he started doing it on a regular basis. The man took everything I had, beat me every day, and when I would lay in bed each night, I would cry myself to sleep while he would hold tightly on to me until he fell asleep. It was insane. So now I've sold my home and now having to leave this mobile home. So this, guys, is home number four. Gone. Lost forever. Another one bites the dust. Well, I felt I couldn't get away from him. People say you should have just left. It's not that easy. It's a constant beat down on a person as to isolate them and separate them from any support system at all, as to appear as them being the only one in the world that will even put up with you, much less anybody, because nobody else wants to even be around you, because they've ruined every relationship that you've ever had in your life, and any kind of support of people, so that they don't even want to be around you anymore, and they look at you in certain types of ways. When I tell you how someone like that gets into your psyche, it is a very evil, sadistic way into beating you into submission and to completely, totally destroy you. What's worse is when you're looking around for some kind of help and there is none. It's a very helpless and hopeless feeling. Not only was I punished, or not only was I the punching bag now, but I remember him and a guy and myself standing out in what we call the projects in a town where I'm from, in front of an apartment full of Mexican guys who lived there together. I guess they were known for having drugs. Well, he tells me to go in there and get us some drugs. Wait a minute. He goes and tells me to go in there and get us some drugs. I did not understand why he felt I could get drugs, because I had no money and I can't even speak Spanish anyway. Why would they give me drugs? He literally meant do whatever necessary, but that wasn't even a concept in my mind. Never thought of in life, so not even real, much less an option. So I said, okay, I'll walk in here, though I don't know why. I guess I just wanted to prove to him that it made no sense, because why in the world would they just give me drugs? So I went in and I said, "Hey, can I get some cocaine?" They were laughing, speaking Spanish, and was like, "You have money?" I said, "No." Would they just give me a little and I would pay them later? Laughing at me, of course, and speaking in Spanish. They were like, "Yeah, we give you some." And I was like, "Really?" And I followed them down the hall, and the guy started to unzip his pants. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "You want cocaine, right?" I said, "Yes, but no, I'm not doing that. No way." He said, "Then no drugs." I was like, "Oh, well, then whatever, because I'm not doing that." I walked out to where he and the guy were standing there still waiting and talking. And I said, "See, I told you, they ain't giving me nothing unless I do some things that I am not going to be doing for them." And he looked at me and, with his 200-pound, muscled up, manly force, punched me as hard as he could right in my face. Well, both sides of my nose instantly, like water faucets, started pouring blood, both eyes instantly turning purple, me in a confused state of mind, and confused who, where, what, how, why. And he walked off. That guy ripped his shirt off and threw it under my nose and started, let me turn the page, yelling at him and calling him by his last name, saying, "What the hell is wrong with you? What did you do that for?" As I was looking up to see him walking off, I seen him start to turn around and look at me. And when he did, I seen it in his eyes, such anger as to say, "How dare you let him help you?" As if I'm in the wrong by way far for letting this man hold a shirt under my face, catching all the massive amounts of blood that was just forcefully pouring out of my head. So I pushed the guy back, saying, "No, no, back up, don't help me." He was confused, saying, What are you serious? What do you mean?" I said, "He's mad, don't help me. He doesn't want you to help me." He was in just as much shock as and confusion as I was. I already seen it in his eyes that my beating had only just begun, because for the evening, because when I get home, I knew not only was my punishment not over, but now I get now I let someone help me, so that too I have to pay for. It was insane, and I did pay for it. Believe me, so many times I would wake up not not even knowing how long I had been out, but hearing him crying, saying, "Oh my God, Kathy, are you okay? Did I do that? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Please wake up. Please forgive me." And he would be crying like he was the one suffering here, because I mean, he is the one who actually has to face the reality of him being so messed up to do such a thing. And he would literally try and give me a bath or a shower to wipe off the dry blood all over me and caked in my hair. And when he would wash me, pulling out wads of my bloody hair at a time, I just remember feeling as though I wasn't real. I could feel how swollen my brain was. Even you would have been very lucky to even find a spot on my head that didn't have a huge concussion knot resided there. He has hidden me from everyone, sometimes 2 weeks at a time, to prevent people from seeing the destruction he had done to me. It was sadistic. He would try to cater to me as if he loved me and was there to take care of me when no one else was. That is until his next episode, which got more and more close and steady like clockwork. I remember my daughter, 7 years old, being at the house one day, and he picked me up by my throat and had me pinned to the wall by my neck, and she run in there so freaked out, because like myself before him, she had never seen anything so scary like this in her life. The only difference was she was a 7-year-old baby seeing this done to her mommy, and she screamed, "Get off my mommy." People, it makes me want to throw up to this day. I have the most horrible sick feeling in the pit of my stomach, and just like it was yesterday, I can see the fear that was in her, over her, around her, consuming her. It is something I have to live with for the rest of my life since, and don't believe that I'll ever be able to fully recover from this pain or the guilt, because it's just way too much. But he almost motioned as if his mind, I seen his evil sadistic thought for that split second, like he was about to rear back and just whop her with a backhand. And I said in as much breath as I could possibly muster up, which wasn't a lot, but I do believe he's seen it in my eyes and how I did supernaturally find enough air hidden somewhere to say, I will freaking kill you. I said effing kill you. I was like, I will effing kill you. He looked at me almost with fear and let me down, and he walked away. That's when I knew he just took the most precious thing that God gifted me gifted me ever in my life with. The only reason I had in the whole wide world to even keep on trying to live. He took my baby girl. She no longer even has memories of being a child. She no longer remembers our life together before the devil ever entered it. I had to let her stay with my parents because there was no way in hell he would ever get an opportunity to do another thing to her, yet he was not about to let me go. So, to all of my haters out there who have a vendetta going with me, who choose to go around gossiping, lying, deceiving, working in groups and covens to say what what a horrible human being I am, slandering me and my name, saying such lies of how I don't even care about my children and what a horrible parent I was, and then only going, and they're only going, only again. And their only agenda in life is to destroy me and any kind of possibility, opportunity to life or love whatsoever, because they feel life isn't fair because my life is so easy and theirs is so hard. So that is the only focus they have in life, is to take mine. Well, all I have to say to that is, may God bless you according to the works of your own hands, and, and the intentions of your own mind and deceived heart. How heartless and evil do you actually have to be to know and to see that God granted me another chance in life to have a small window of opportunity to make up to my children, to show them love and give us a second chance to have a life, and you come along with your jealous, envious, evil spirit and decide you are God and you will dictate and bring judgment down upon me and my family and take the opportunity from us, that because of some sick way you truly feel about yourself. Not anything that I have or my children have done in particular to you, but because you can't stand the light of God inside of us and around us. And how dare we have what you have built up in your sick mind as such a great and wonderful life, because I am here to tell you, not even you and 10 of your lives could add up to the suffering and abuse that I have or my family has had to endure because of this evil, sadistic people like you. How dare you feel you are the judge and juror who controls or whether or not me and my family get a moment of any sort of life, love, stability, family, because you can't stand how people seem to like me so much and they don't seem to like you. Maybe if you would have known me then like they did, or took the time to ask why people seem to be kind to me, then maybe you might have been a little bit kinder to me and my family as well. If you could have just gotten a glimpse into the abuse, the punishment, the torture, torment, destruction, rejection, abandonment, everything in life ever with any kind of good at all, taken forcefully without any sort of care or concern whatsoever, then maybe you might have been a bit more understanding instead of taking what second chance at life, stability, and love God granted me, that I fought blood and guts for and got up out of the mud. And here you come rallying up troops, secret societies, and your witch covens to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, form a constant, relentless pursuit against me and my family and my life to destroy us, making me either unalive or to set me up and have me incarcerated, or just freaking hopeless, so hopeless and helpless that I wish I were dead. What a noble cause for you to spend your life on. After all, in your eyes, I haven't suffered enough, lost enough, fought enough, earned enough, deserve enough to have a small window of life at all. Why is that? What have I done to you but be very kind, helpful, loving, caring, giving, protecting, without judgment or condemnation? Please riddle me that. I'm sure many people besides myself and family would even love to finally know what your reasoning is behind this. It really needs to be um, cleared. It needs to be cleared up now, once and for all. And finally, what is your problem? Are you that insecure within yourself that you actually traded your soul to the devil to ruin my life? Well, obviously, you should have asked somebody. My life has been a living hell, anyhow, until I found God and the love of God and the peace of God and the joy, protection, hope, and life of God. The thing is, you yourself could have had something, had the same thing. You think my life is so beautiful and easy? Well, honey, my life was the messiest life you could have imagined, and that's why I chose to die to that life and let God have a chance to live his life through me. And that is who your fight is with. This is the life of God you see in me. This is the light, his light. This is his love, his peace, his joy, beauty, hope. And instead of fantasizing otherwise anymore, why don't you just have a little talk with him and you two work it out? Because if you haven't if you haven't yet noticed, he is the one you have been fighting anyway and still will have to deal with on working it out, because you are not more powerful, nor your whole community of warlocks, witches put together have absolutely anything at all on God. And here is a little fact for you that just might, or here's a little fact for you that just might take you by surprise. But not even your devil, Lucifer, Satan himself, has anything whatsoever on my daddy, God or me for that matter. God even gave me dominion over him and all of his demons and all the powers of the enemy. Demons, powers, principalities, scorpions, snakes, Leviathan, Jezebel, whatever evil power you conjure up and worship in order to um, take power over me and to bring me down. The absolute only thing more powerful is God himself, and you will eventually figure that out, or you will die trying. I'm going to leave this section here because I feel as though my testimony went a bit off course here today, but at least everyone can get a feel in the direction God plans for this to go. And I'm sure your imaginations can only wonder what this person and these people have done to come against me for no reason whatsoever except their own insecurities of their own existence, not mine. For I was very good to each and every single one of them if they were even blessed enough to encounter any part of me. So thank you for listening. God bless you all. I would like to say the Lord's Prayer before I go, if you'd like to join in so that I can release this dark energy in order to have it transformed for my good. So, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth, in this place as it is in heaven. Forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. In Jesus Christ's precious, beautiful, powerful, and holy name, I pray. Amen and amen. Yes. Whew. Much better. I feel much better. So please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment if you will. And until next time, family, hasta la vista, baby.